Redditors who have caught their so cheating. How did you catch them? Did you give them another chance? NSFW. We went to a Halloween party at a friend's place. I'd known she's had a bit of a crush on one guy who was to attend. At one point late in the night she was quite drunk. She lined up at the washroom immediately after he went in. I kept a bit of an eye on her, and when the bathroom door opened, she went in but he didn't come out. I stood at the door and waited. When it opened and he stumbled out, I immediately went in and confronted her about it. I'm proud of myself for not committing murder that night. We're going through divorce now. 10 years married with 2 kids. I didn't catch him. He called me the next morning crying and told me everything. I respected his honesty, recognized his remorse, and truly believed it would never happen again, so I decided to forgive him. But after he cheated he became incredibly paranoid. He started checking my phone, accusing me of revenge f-king people behind his back. Even got mad when I was assigned to work with a man on a group project in school. I couldn't stand by the fact that he was the one who cheated and I was the one being punished. I had really forgiven him. I wasn't holding his mistake over his head, and my attitude toward him didn't change after the fact at all, but he was driving me away more and more every day. After about a month of this I broke up with him and he completely lost it. This is the other side of the forgiveness coin. It's such a selfless move that sometimes it can totally CK the selfish person that cheated. He was my first proper boyfriend. And in hindsight he was a pretty shitty boyfriend. But at the time I thought the sun shone out of his ass. So I was crushed when out of the blue he dumped me. With no reason. A week later a group of his friends who'd taken a liking to me contacted me with the real reason for our breakup. Because apparently they'd seen what was happening and they were sick of his shitty. Basically he'd been seeing another girl behind my back. And when she found out about me she refused to sleep with him. So he dumped me in the hopes he'd get into her pants. She inevitably told him to get lost. At which point he tried getting back with me. I did not take him back. I found out while I was deployed. The guy she cheated on me with emailed me and told me everything. Every detail. He apologized and told me he had no idea we were together. I put a hole in the wall. Went to smoke an entire pack at the smoke pit. Went back to my laptop. And I thanked the guy. My girlfriend was out with a friend. We'll call her Susan. On a girls' night until all hours. And told me she was staying at Susan's place for the night. The next time I see Susan, she pulled me aside and told me that they actually went to the house of a guy my girlfriend worked with. We'll call him Patrick. Because that's his name. Susan goes on to tell me that she woke up in the middle of the night and found my girlfriend having sex with Patrick on the couch, while Patrick's girlfriend was asleep in the bedroom. I thanked her for letting me know. Then went home and told my GF to pack her shitty. Your ex's friend is a total lady bro. Whoa. Susan might not be a bitch. Semen leaking out of her vagina when she came back from the movies on a girl's night out. Edit. My thoughts go out to you, Swow. Her story seems way more devastating. Edit. It doesn't seem devastating. It is devastating. That would be horrible. That is disgusting. I had a boyfriend who died in a wreck. At his wake I had an even dozen women tell me they shared my pain because they had been his lover too. No second chance. Not even to kill him. My first boyfriend cheated on me with his ex at least twice. But I didn't actually find out until years after we broke up. He and I got together for drinks and to catch up. And I just flat out asked him if he'd slept with her. He couldn't answer me. And that was answer enough. Looking back, I knew in the back of my mind something was up. And I should have accepted that and moved on sooner. The paintings she did of him. The way he'd disappear for days after seeing her. Hell. He drove to my school in her car to tell me we should take a break. Ugh. It makes me angry to think about how naive I was. I was trying to be the cool girlfriend who didn't mind her boyfriend hanging out with his ex. Because they were just friends. TL. DR spent a shitty ton of time with his ex. I was dumb. Didn't cheat myself, but busted a guy accidentally. Was at a dinner party when this vaguely familiar guy walks in with his smoking hot so. We are introduced and I said that we had actually met before. It basically went like this. Yes. We've met before. No. I don't think so. Sure. You went to X university. Right? Where you used to date my old neighbor, Jenna. No. No. That wasn't me. Sure it was. You transferred from Y University and played basketball. We had a couple of chats because you know Tim and Ed at this point is so seething and storms out of the house. He gives me a wow did you just FCK me look and heads out after her. Turns out he was cheating with my neighbor for years. She always suspected, but never had any proof. Until I came along. I understand this one worked out. But in general, if you run into someone who is with their so you probably shouldn't bring up people they used to date. She texted me instead of him then tried to play it off as if she was joking around to see my reaction. I have never in my 29 years of existence texted the wrong person. How does that even happen? I've texted the wrong person tons of times. It really can happen. Not saying that it did, but it's possible. My girlfriend actually just sent a picture of herself in a really low cut shirt to her little sister instead of me. Haha. My ex-boyfriend and I had been dating for 2 years when he cheated on me. It was his birthday and we're supposed to be going out for dinner that night. I decided to surprise him with his birthday present earlier that day. Went over to his house since he was off from work. And saw that he had left the door unlocked so I went in and called out for him but he didn't answer. His TV volume was turned up really loud so I went up to his room just to catch him pile driving my cheer captain. There was no confrontation. I left quietly. Though I did come back to stick nails in his tires out of spite. He begged me to forgive him but I declined. I won't lie I was tempted but it really hurt. To give him everything and I mean everything. He was my first. Lucky me. I could emotionally for him to turn around and betray me like that really hurt. I will say that holding grudges did me no good. I was able to forgive him just for closure purposes. Ex and I were 18 at the time. First girlfriend. High school sweethearts. She confessed to me the first time she cheated on her birthday the first week into college. I forgave. 3 months later I hear from 4 of her friends that she cheated on me again with several other guys at a club during girls' night out. Ran and left after that with my mangled heart. I have an interesting story here. One day out of the corner of my eye I caught my then GF text "I'll always love you." Seemed a bit too strong for family and it bothered me. Eventually curiosity took over and I checked her phone. She was texting her ex including pictures. Boo, she didn't physically cheat on me. He was many states away and unemployed with no car. I told her she had 2 choices. Call and tell him they were done and she could try to rebuild my trust or I could dump her on the spot. She called him. Apparently he didn't know about me so he did the work for me. Calling her a bitch etc leaving me as the white knight. She eventually left me a year later but things were still pretty good. Left me for her math tutor but told me they grew close and therefore wanted to break things off with me. No cheating. They are getting married now and I still see her from time to time. We mutually respect each other so in the end things turned out okay. Summary. Gave a second chance. I don't know why I come into these threads. My fiancée and I live in different cities right now while I'm doing my masters. She's never given me any reason to doubt her and we keep in such close contact that it would be pretty difficult for her to cheat. Still, threads like these break my heart. I had suspicions for a while. She was using a lot of drugs with one person in particular. I managed to get this guy's phone number and politely asked him to stop contacting her. I also asked her. She said she did. But I found out she would still see him occasionally. She assured me over and over they were just hanging out and doing drugs. She kept on telling me she was trying to get sober but it truly didn't seem like it. One day, in some anger, I texted the guy and he responded with something like this. "Shut the FCK up. I could break your heart with just a couple of facts." So I promptly approached my girlfriend about this. She admitted to not being fully honest about their relationship. That was the understatement of the year. They were using heroin and F-king each other for 6 months. I stopped contacting her. She ended up getting clean and sober. I decided to take her back. We had 3 more years of a very healthy and stable relationship. Then she dumped me because she wanted to be more independent. She is not a good person. Sober or not. She started bringing this new friend around a lot. Began to suspect but who wants to jump right on that card? Have a little faith. No need to jump the gun. Yeah. No. Eventually it got to the point they were doing things in front of me, so I called her on it. Apparently. That was none of my business. Yeah. I'm out. Peace. Came to learn in the coming weeks she was not only cheating but had basically started a whole new relationship with one of our friends. Behind my back and right in front of me, and I just didn't see until after I should have because it was with a girl. I've never really trusted anyone like I trusted her since. Sounds very teenagery. I was dating my most recent ex-girlfriend 2 years ago during my 2nd year of college. She and I were smoking weed and watching a movie when she went to the bathroom. Her phone vibrated and the message was from a guy with a bunch of hearts and kisses in the message. I saw it and my heart fell into my chest. I asked her what was up. And to pick between us. She chose to be single and 2 months later began a relationship with him. I saw this bitch looking at an answer sheet in her pocket. So I just snitched and broke up with her. FCK a cheater. I was chilling on the couch at his place when I spied a girl's hair tie on the coffee table. It wasn't mine. I stared at him and asked whose it was. His face turned white and he started sputtering that it was a friend's. Which friend? I know all his friends. Some girl I met who came to borrow a DVD. I know his DVD collection. He couldn't tell me which one it was. Knowing he was caught, he went down on his knees and started begging for forgiveness, saying he met some girl and invited her to his flat. And they made out for 10 minutes before he realized it was wrong. Bullshit. But I would never find out the truth. I felt numb. I should have known better. F-king man WH-re. Oh yeah, I found out on our 1-year anniversary. Edit. Clarity. I read it on Reddit. Really? I've been going out with someone since grade 9. I'm a freshman in university now. I came back from a trip where I was the only guy in a group of 6 girls. Keep in mind this was a trip for club executives. And I didn't do a damn thing. I got her a nice necklace from Ottawa. Come back and have dinner at a nice restaurant on Monday where she drops questions like are you happy etc. And drops the bomb about how she's been cheating since day 1. This is the girl I wanted to spend my life with. And get married to. Life's a bitch. Better to find out now than after you put the ring on it. Look at the bright side. You're now a single freshman at university. Picture this. They were both butt naked. Banging on the bathroom floor. He asked me to text someone for him. I saw a number I didn't recognize and read the messages. They were pretty yes-all. I asked him about it. He said he was sorry. I asked him why he would do it. He said he felt I didn't pay any attention to him. I ended it. I think it's unfair for the person cheated on and the one cheated with. I walked into a party that he knew I was coming to, dumbass, and saw him touching another girl. He chased after me. I forgave him, because I'm also a dumbass, and he did it again twice and was texting other girls while I was out of country. Then it was over. Good riddance. I had been in a 9-month-long relationship when I was younger. And I noticed my best friend and my SO getting a bit too friendly via text. Both just tried to convince me that they were just friends. But no one texts a friend that often or like that. I decided that we should take a break. And to that, he responded, I don't need you. I've been sleeping with your best friend for the past few months since you won't put out, you prude bitch, and that was that. I was dumping someone and found out that he had been boning my best let's save sex for marriage virgin friend. And my current boyfriend hates when I even touch his phone. But after previous incidents, I can hardly help it. I had been with my girlfriend for about 4 years when I got suspicious about her and one of her classmates. One night, we were hanging out with her family, and she was passing around her phone, showing some random photo. When the phone got to me, she got real nervous and took the phone back as quick as she could. Up until that point, I had never snooped on her phone, but I knew the proof I needed was on there. I got a chance to check her phone a few days later. She was a dummy and hadn't deleted any evidence. They were pretty explicit and it crushed me. I confronted her about it immediately and we broke up. After a few weeks passed, we met up and she apologized. Long story short, I ended up giving her another chance. We were together for maybe another year before she started talking about the mailman at her work the same way she had her classmate. We broke up permanently a couple weeks later. Like some others have said, once a cheater, always a cheater. If they cheat once, they'll cheat again. She cheated on me with my brother and said it was a drunken mistake. Gave her another chance and she cheated again. Needless to say, no more chances were given. Your brother is a dick. What the hell, man? What kind of brother does that? Context? Comma, if they cheat once, they'll cheat again. That is a broad brush you are painting with. I cheated once with my very first girlfriend. I was dumb and horny and lacked foresight. She dumped me instantly and I 100% deserved it. I saw and felt the pain firsthand. I'm now 38 and married, to a different girl obviously. I have never cheated or even tried since that one time when I was 16. Some people learn from their mistakes. Some people never do. And to this day I consider that one act of cheating one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my life. When I was in college, I was seeing this girl for several weeks. Since I was a freshman, and she was a sophomore. I thought she was as into me as I was into her. I was basically head over heels. I used to walk into her dorm all the time, and she would do the same to me. One day, after a rough day in class, I text her saying I was coming over. Need to chill out or whatever. Well, I walk into her room and she is literally riding another dude's dick. We hadn't even had sex yet. She turned really fast, saw me, then slowly curled up into a ball to cover herself. The dude had no idea who I was. Needless to say, I was pretty f***ing pissed. She wasn't technically my girlfriend, but when you like someone and you've been going out on dates and whatnot, it still hurts all the same. She's married now. Has 2 kids from 2 different guys. Neither are her husbands. I think I made the right decision in not giving her any chance after that.